Hello, good afternoon. This is David Studer talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of November 1st through November 5th, 2021. Okay, and what I'll do here is, just like always, I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, and I'll do that just so we can see what happened this past week. All right, and then I will compare that to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour daily and weekly chart. And then based on my experience and using my Excalibur trend indicator here, I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to start with, closed out the month with some pretty good trades, especially with the Great British Pound. And now we're wrapping up the month, we're moving into a new month, so we're going to start seeing some new trends develop. Also, this coming Friday is the non-farm payroll. Okay, so be prepared for that. There's going to be a lot of activity this week, and like always, the first week of the month always has a lot of activity, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind and be prepared for that. So I think with the non-farm payroll, we're not going to have a good job report for the US dollar. Just a funny feeling I have. Last month fell below expectations, and I think this month will be the same. Okay, I don't think we'll see a really good progress, but we might. I don't know. So I don't want to speculate too much on that, but it's just a funny feeling I got about the US dollar, right? So let's look here at EURUSD, which I got pulled up on the chart. We see that we had some really erratic movement here, and price ended just slightly lower than where it began, but overall we had it was dead most of the week, very little movement, and then just spiked up here towards the end of the week and then shot back down. This was on Thursday and then shot down on Friday. So interesting what's going on. Typically when we have a flat range market like this, it generally signals a reversal in the market, but not always. Now if we look at the 4-hour chart, look at this. We had a huge spike down. Okay, so we definitely hit a high level here with this big drop. That to me indicates that it's going to continue to drop. Okay, we're having a slight pullback right now, but I think this will continue to drop, and we have a support right here which I can mark just so you can see for reference. I think that that support will break. Okay, I don't know, but I have a funny feeling. Okay, now if we look here on the daily chart, it shows to go up, but with this big bearish candle dropping like that, I just got this funny feeling it's gonna drop more. Okay, it was going up and then drop back down. So based on this, it should be going up, but if we look at the weekly chart, it shows to be going down long term. Okay, so the long term trend is bearish, which it's been for quite some time, and it already broke a previous support right here on this candle. Okay, so if we look, we have a support right now, but we have also a resistance on this candle, which is now a support. Okay, so what I think is going to happen, you're going to see this drop more and touch that resistance and support level right here. Okay, it could, if it breaks this level, it will probably drop down to this level here. Okay, we have a resistance here and a resistance right here. Okay, so that's at least several hundred pips for that to travel. If you look right here, there's about 1,000 pips of travel. Now 1,000 pip movement, unless there's like major news, that usually takes about a week or so for it to do that. Okay, so keep in mind that this is going down long term. Now in the short term, yeah, it might bounce back up. Like we're at a strong level of support right now, at least on the daily chart. So what I think is going to happen, and it's difficult to say, but I think the price is going to shoot back up some, and then around the middle of the week we're going to see it drop even further. Okay, I do not think we're going to see a big gain on this. That's all dependent upon the US dollar. Now if this coming Friday we have a bad report for the employment data for the the non-farm payroll with the US dollar, that will cause this to spike up. Okay, do keep that in mind. But I think by the end of this week, we will see the price drop down even further. Okay, and probably close out the week with the price, hitting towards this support level right here. Okay, I cannot guarantee that, but based on what's happening right now, I do feel that's going to happen, because it's not really going up like it wants to. Okay, it's really fighting to go back down, and the US dollar is just not putting up what it should. So US dollar is not going up, US dollar is going down, so or vice versa. But US dollar is definitely not gaining, so this right here will ultimately drop. Okay, so anyhow, enough of that. But what you can do for this week, okay, is if you put your charts on a 30-minute time frame, okay, it's starting to go up right now. Okay, it's not really going up. I would look for sell opportunities using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just because I don't feel like this is really going to be going up. I think it's going to drop even more. So keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame. Look for sell opportunities with the EURUSD. All right, moving on to GBPUSD right here. Now this one was totally different, right? It did drop off on the end of the week, but we saw some, good, a good buy and sell opportunities, good highs and lows. That's what I'm trying to say. But the Great British Pound was a lot stronger than the euro, and a lot more movement than what we just saw in the previous chart. So when you see a setup like this is perfect, okay, for buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, you have some really good movement up and down, and now we're at a strong level of support, and it should be going up. But let's look at the 4-hour chart real quick. The 4-hour chart shows to go down, and see, we had a big drop here. It broke. We had a support here, support here, support here, and now support here. So every support is a little bit lower. So what that signifies is that this is going down into a definite downtrend, and with this big bearish candle right here, that signifies that this will be dropping more. So just like I said a minute ago, this one is definitely going to be dropping. It'll probably spike up some in the beginning of the week and then head back down even more. Okay, if you look here on the daily chart, okay, it shows to go up. Okay, and we did have a nice rally up, but now it's coming back down. And I think it's safe to say that this week the price will be headed down. Maybe in the following weeks the price will be going up, all dependent upon the US dollar, right? If the US dollar gets a bad job report, this will definitely go up. But for the time being, this week, I feel that it will be dropping. Okay, now Friday is non-farm payroll. I don't know what's going to happen. If we have a bad job report, then it will spike up, but that's going to be on Friday. So for most of this week, I feel it will be dropping. If you look at the weekly chart, it shows it go down long term, and the weekly chart is the largest of all the time frames with the strongest indicator. Okay, the strongest indication of what's going to happen. So we know long term is going to be dropping. Okay, it's been showing up for quite some time, but we had a lot of highs and lows, a lot of range of market, as you can see here, but overall it's dropping steadily. Okay, slowly but surely it is dropping. So that's what we have to keep in mind. If you look here on the daily chart, we went up to this point. We have 2 blue arrows in a row. It's not impossible to see 3 blue arrows, or 3 of any color in a row. So we could see 3 blue arrows. I don't know, but the deal is, it went up and down, formed another blue arrow, and it went up, did not form a red arrow. Okay, and it's starting to drop again. So I have a funny feeling we're going to see a repeat of what's happening here. Okay, that just signifies to me that we are definitely going into a downtrend. And if you follow the weekly chart, we know that the weekly is the stronger, right? So we know it's going down. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to go down. So we want to focus on selling. If we put your charts on a 30-minute time frame, I would look for sell opportunities only. Okay, I would not buy right now. If you buy right now, chance is going to keep dropping. So look for sell opportunities. It might take a day or two before you get another sell opportunity on the 30-minute time frame. I don't see right now that this price is going to go up too much. It might even drop and form another blue arrow on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, keep that in mind. But definitely wait for the red arrows to form and then place your trade. Okay, do not just buy. Okay, that's not a good idea right now. Okay, now this past week we did see some good up and down movements, good range of market, but right now it's not looking so good. Okay, now let's look at Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, again, we see some good buy and sell opportunities, and we have a good, good highs and lows with range of market. This one is actually looks like it's going into an uptrend. Okay, the price did end higher than where it began, and we have a high followed by a higher high. Okay, if we zoom out a little bit, we can see we have a low followed by a higher low. That signifies that this price is going up. Okay, so that's okay. But here's the thing: if we look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to go down. So what's going to happen? Okay, now yes, it's been going up, but I feel that we're getting ready to break this trend. If we look here, if I draw a trend line, I'm going to try to draw like this. Okay, that's your support level, and that's what we're looking for this to break. Now it's probably going to go back up some this week and then head back down. I do not think this is going to break that trend this week. Okay, like I said, it all depends on the US dollar. If the US dollar has a bad job report, you're going to see this escalate up a lot more. The daily chart right here has no red arrow, so that signifies to me that this is going to go up even more. Okay, and we look here on the weekly chart, it shows to go down, so it's not going to go up a whole heck of a lot, because long term it's going to drop. Now Australian dollar is a strong currency, okay, compared to the US dollar, and right now it is very bullish. Okay, so what I think is going to happen, and it's not impossible, we have a support right here, which is a resistance, and it's already at that level. Let me bring it up. There's a resistance right here on this wick of the candle. I don't know why, but it's a good marker right there. You see the price had dropped here, formed a support, broke, and formed a resistance now. So that would be the ideal place, the ideal target for this price to head to if you want to see a red arrow form on the daily chart. And I think that will happen. Okay, I really think that will happen. If I switch back to the 4-hour chart, you can see this a little more clearer, and expand this out a little bit. So what would happen if the price goes up to this level? You will see this indicator here repaint. Okay, and it's very, very possible for that to happen. Okay, it happens all the time. So just keep in mind that, we're not technically in a downtrend until this support breaks, and I would need to see this break by 2 or 3 candles, and then I know it's going to be headed down. Okay, but right now it is still in an uptrend. Okay, not officially in a downtrend yet, but it is getting there, and it will. Okay, I don't know if it's going to happen this week. I don't think so. I think it's going to happen the following week. Okay, so for this week, okay, I would keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and you can both buy and sell. Okay, you can both buy and sell. Just keep in mind that this will be going up. If you want to focus on buying only, you can, but you could both buy and sell. Right now, I would not try to sell because it's already dropped so much. I would wait until you get a buy signal and then buy, and then repeat the process. Buy on the blue and sell on the red. So you should be perfectly fine to buy and sell. Just keep in mind that this is going up still. So anyhow, that's for AUDUSD. Now let's look at US dollar and see what's going on here. Now the US dollar definitely dropped this past week. Not a huge drop, but it is definitely dropping. Okay, so we had a big drop here and then it rallied back up, but it kind of hit this resistance here. Now we're looking for a red arrow to form, which probably be here or at this level. If it goes back up to this level here, then it will form a red arrow, which would be perfect, because look, we have a red arrow followed by a lower red arrow followed by another lower red arrow, which has not formed yet, but it would make perfect sense for the red arrow to form right here in this area. If we look here on the 4-hour chart, okay, we see the price to go up. Okay, so 30-minute shows to go up, 4-hour shows to go up. So we hit a strong level of support. Okay, so the price is looking to go up, but is it really going to go up? We're not. Just because it's going up right now does not mean we are in an uptrend. Okay, if we always need to draw our trend lines and look at our trend lines. Okay, and right now if we draw this trend line to mark our resistance coming down. Remember, anytime you have a downtrend, you have to mark your resistance. Okay, so until that breaks by like 2 or 3 candles, we're not going to have, a new uptrend on using the 4-hour chart. Okay, if you use a 1-hour chart, I would still need 3 or 4 candles. But anyhow, this right here needs to break, and I don't think that's going to happen. If we look on the daily chart, it shows to go down. So what I think is going to happen, the price is going to escalate back up some in the first few days of the week, probably Monday and Tuesday, and then by Wednesday it's going to dip back down again. Okay, we look here on the weekly chart, it shows to go up, and that's long term, but for now, for the time being, I don't think it's going to be going up. And this Friday is the non-farm payroll, which I've already said, but if we have a bad job report, which I think we will, I think this is going to drop a lot more. Okay, it's kind of the lull before the storm. If it drops, I don't know how far it will drop, but we have a support here, which would be like the likely target for that to drop. Okay, if you look in the daily chart, you have a strong support here. We have a blue arrow here indicating a support, but I don't think it's going to drop that far. Okay, if it dropped here, that would make perfect sense, because if you look at the weekly chart, the long term is to go up. Okay, so in the short term, it would drop to this point and form a blue arrow. Okay, and that would mean you'd have a blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow, which indicates a long-term uptrend. Okay, so but in the short term, for this week, probably going into next week, we're going to see this drop even more. Okay, so if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, I personally would think you would want to look for sell opportunities only. Obviously you could probably both buy and sell. Right now, if you had bought here, you would have had some pretty decent gains, and it's probably going to go up even more on Monday, but then by Tuesday or going into Wednesday, it should drop back down. So I would not buy right now. It's already gained so much. I would wait until you get a sell opportunity and then sell. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, if you want to focus on selling only, that would probably be your best bet. Okay, now let's look at USDJPY. Okay, this was a little bit interesting. We did see that we had mostly a range of market, but we had a red arrow followed by a lower red arrow, which indicates that we're getting ready to go into a downtrend. Now, if you remember, the USDJPY had been rallying up for several weeks. Okay, this past month. So we finally hit a strong level of resistance, and the price is getting ready to come back down. And I'll show you that right here. If you look at the 4-hour chart, see we had this, and I zoom out a little bit, we had such a big rally up, and now we hit a strong level of resistance, and it's slowly working its way back down. It's going to take quite some time for it to wake, probably take a few weeks, maybe even another month, for that price to head back down. If you look at the daily chart, we see pretty much the same thing. Okay, this hit a strong level of resistance, and it is starting to slowly work its way down. If you look at the weekly chart, same situation. Okay, so this is good that we have a red arrow here, because now we know that it's not going to go up. It's not going to go up past that. Okay, it's going to start working its way back down. So we should be seeing this USD JPY be dropping probably for the next several months. Okay, I don't know, but if the weekly chart says to sell, it's going to be selling for quite some time. All right. Now, what should we do this week? If you go back to the 30-minute time frame, we already got a red arrow to sell. So now it looks like a pretty good time to sell. But like always, I would wait until the New York session on Monday. Any USD pair, I would wait till the New York session before you go placing trades, just to see what the US dollar is doing. It might spike up and go even higher. I don't know. Okay, US dollar rallied up and hit this resistance and dropped, but it started to go back up again. So it's very possible that this could go up even higher, but I don't foresee that really happening, because the long-term trend is bearish. We're going into a downtrend. Okay, but definitely I would wait to the New York session and then place a sell trade and hold it until you get the next blue arrow and close the trade, and then repeat the process. So you should be able to both buy and sell using the 30-minute time frame this week. Just keep in mind that the long-term trend is bearish and it should be dropping. Okay, so if you want to focus on selling only, you can. That'll probably be the safest bet, but we do have some good buy and sell opportunities if you look here in the past. Okay, yeah, we definitely have some good buy and sell opportunities already, so we will have some more in the future. Okay, we'll have a lot of buy and sell opportunities, but overall the price will be dropping long term. Okay, now let's look at US dollar versus Canadian dollar. This one was kind of erratic, but we still have some good buy and sell opportunities, and it was mostly a flat range of market this past week. We had a big price gap right here, which is interesting. But anyhow, like I've always said, when you see a flat range of market like this, that generally indicates it's going to be a reversal. Now, which way is it going to go? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? That is the big question. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to go up, but I don't know. Is it going to keep going up or is it going to drop down? So it is kind of wanting to go up. It started to go up and then drop back down, started to go up again, and it's probably going to drop back down and maybe go up some more. And this Friday is non-farm payroll, which affects both the US dollar and Canadian dollar. If the Canadian dollar has a good job report and the US dollar has a bad, we're going to see this drop big time. Okay. If you look here on a daily chart, it says a sell, right? So we had the price drop, go back up, and then we had a big drop here, and then it just kind of fizzled out. But we still have plenty of room for this to drop even more before we see another blue arrow. And we have a support way down here, but I highly doubt it's going to drop that far. Where it probably will drop is right here. Okay, we have a strong support right here, and that would be the most likely spot. And the reason being, if you look at the weekly chart, it says to go up. So the long-term trend is bullish. Okay, so yeah, I think it's probably going to drop this week and then spike back up. Now again, this Friday is the non-farm payroll, so everything's kind of up in the air right now. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with the US dollar. If we do have a bad job report, this will drop a lot more than that. Okay, I can pretty much guarantee you that. So we have a strong support here. I think it probably will drop down even more this week, and it probably would touch this, and we might see another blue arrow form here. Okay, we would have a blue arrow followed by a slightly lower. It's very possible for that to happen, or it could repaint, but I don't know. I don't think it will. That's about it. But if this breaks, okay, if this green line breaks, how far will it drop? Well, that is a major question. We have a support way down here. Let me mark that one also so you can see. That's a huge drop and I just don't think it's going to drop that much. But we have and this is difficult to say, but we have a resistance here, a good resistance and support level right there. So just like going in an elevator, we have different levels, different floors in the elevator. So if it breaks this support, it will drop to this support level for sure. If it breaks this one, it will drop down to here, okay, which would be where it was before. Okay, so anything's possible. Okay, just know that we're looking for a blue arrow to form on the daily chart before we see this go back up. And like always, we do not have, if we do get a blue arrow, then you want to look for your resistance and wait for the resistance to break. Okay, draw a trend line, which would be like this. Okay, that would be your trend line right there, and we would need that to break. But first of all, we need to get a blue arrow on the daily chart, okay, in order for that to happen. Now it has happened where we had a red arrow, never formed a blue arrow, and it shot up and formed a higher red arrow. Okay, that is very possible as well, but highly unlikely. Okay, highly unlikely. We have you see in the past we had a blue arrow followed by a much lower blue arrow, okay, with no red arrow in between. So yeah, that is possible, but here we had a kind of a short gain and then a big drop. So here we had a big drop, so that indicates to me that we should see a blue arrow coming. Okay, so just hold out and wait. Do not try to buy right now because it's not really in an uptrend. It's not really going up. If you look here on the 1 hour chart, it's already gone up, hit this trend line, and it's starting to come back down. If you look on the 30-minute chart, you can see it even better. Okay, there's that trend line. So this is what we just saw in the beginning, and it's starting to go back down already. So what I would do, you could both buy and sell this week, but I would probably more focus on selling using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, hope that makes sense. So anyhow, if you have any questions about these predictions, or if you need me to analyze another currency pair, okay, there's so many currency pairs here, I don't mind trying to help you. Okay, just hit me up on Facebook. I'll put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, I'll put a link for my private Facebook group, and then you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. That way myself or other traders, we can help assist you and we can collaborate as a team. Okay, so I hope this helped you a little bit. Please reach out to me if I can be of any more assistance. Okay, thank you and have a wonderful week.